subscribe and press this bell icon to never miss another lecture video. Welcome to GATE ESE lecture. Before getting into Fourier transform, I want to discuss with you a very important question. This question is actually based on this formula. Okay, this formula creates a lot of confusion between a lot of students. Okay, there is couple of properties like time shifting properties, scaling property, other jitne bhi sare properties, those properties what we have studied like differentiation property, integration property, time reversal property, frequency shifting, time shifting property. All these properties are useful, very useful, and you can use those property on questions very easily. The question will come directly, but it is quite difficult to use this property for a lot of people, for a lot of students. Now I'm going to discuss a very simple question whose answer can be found out through this property. Okay, and how to find out the answer, to analyze the answer, that you can understand. Look here, this property says if your f of t is real and even and real or odd, your Fourier coefficient will be real and even and imaginary and odd respectively. Like if real and even hai, so definitely your Fourier coefficient will come out to be real and even. Okay, now there is another property which is there to test the symmetricity of the signal. Okay, in that formula also you're going to have a condition for real. If your Cn value is equals to the conjugate part of C of minus n, that means you have a f of t, which gives real value. And if this is not equal, then it is giving f of t is giving imaginary value or a complex value. Okay, so question will be asked in such a way so that you'd be asked through the question ki find what is the condition. There is this one kind of question that we're going to discuss in here. But before getting to the question, I want to tell you one more thing. Look here, C of n is equals to C of minus n, and Cn angle is equals to minus of Cn angle. What does this mean? That means it is representing a symmetric value. It is somehow representing antisymmetric value. Yes, in lecture number 51, I think in lecture number 51 in Fourier representation, I told you about the property of a Fourier series coefficient that follow symmetricity in magnitude spectrum, that follow antisymmetric in phase spectrum. Okay, so that is why the value will come out to be real, the f of t will come out to be real if it is following the magnitude spectrum is following symmetric condition, and your phase value is following the antisymmetric condition, and these two conditions are the same as that of these two things. Similar cases only, because C of n is equals to C of minus n, conjugate ka minus n. Okay, the same thing is here repeating here. So you need to be very careful about these conditions and how the question is asked. Look here, there is this example of this question I have given. Look here, it is saying ki f of t whose limit is from n equals to 0 to 100 cos n pi e to the power j n 2 pi by 100t. Doesn't matter. Look here, it looks scary. I'm sorry, I wrote the answer here. Okay, it looks scary, but it's a very simple question. Second question, it is given with a different limit. Question is same, but limit is different, minus 100 to 100. Third question will be asked minus 100 to 100. The limit is same, but this value is different. Clear? Now it is asked what is f of t, whether f of t is complex valued for each and every question, whether this f of we have been asked ki find this property of this f of t, whether this f of t is complex valued or real valued or what it is a real valued or real value and even, or it is real value and odd. There will be certain cases where you will going to get a real value. Okay, but you need to find out the accurate question, whether it is real and odd or whether it is real and even. At that point this parameter comes into play. Okay, हमेशा हम पहले अटैक करेंगे ये वाले कंडीशन को while finding out the answers. After that we will get into the checking in this thing. We are not going to jump into directly into this thing, so that there will be kind of confusion. So always we'll attack these conditions first, then we'll get into these conditions in order to get the accurate condition where if it is real, whether it is a real and even or real and odd, we are going to follow this method. Okay, you'll understand once I'm solved this. Once I solve this question, you'll understand it. Now let's understand from the first question, that is f of t is given n is equal to 0 to 100, and this question is there. Okay, now I need to compare it with my standard format, which is given as n equals to what? Exponential form of a Fourier series representation, minus infinity to infinity cn into e to the power jn omega naught t. Now if you compare these two equations, these two are quite similar, but you can see cn value is nothing but cos n pi. So here you can see cn value is nothing but cos n pi. So it is given cn value is nothing but cos n pi. Now this cos n pi is given, it is only defined in n equals to 0 to 100. That means it is only giving value from n equals to 0 to 100. That means n belongs to 0 to 100, your cn equals to cos n pi, it will be 0 for other values. That means if you take c of n, it will never come out to be c of minus n का conjugate के साथ. You understand? Because c of minus n will be 0. Negative values for n के negative values के लिए it is 0. So c of minus n will never come out to be equals to that of c of n. So this condition is dissatisfied. This condition is dissatisfied. This condition is dissatisfied. That means it is not real. That is not real. That means it is this. That means this first question is. That means for the first question, f of t is complex valued. For the first question, the answer is f of t is complex valued. Clear? That means it is complex valued because c of minus n is not defined. So but we need to have at least c of minus n तो एग्जिस्ट करे, तो फिर उसके बाद हम कंजुगेट के बारे में बात करेंगे. अब ये 0 हो जा रहा है. Clear? In that way you can also understand. Okay, now second question, it is saying ki okay, you needed a negative part, we have given you negative part. Now you tell me whether this cn value, look here carefully, cn value abhi power में आ गया cos n pi for n belongs to 100 to no minus 100 to 100. The cn comes to power. Now look here carefully. If you take c of 1, put in place of n, put 1, you'll get cos pi, which is nothing but minus 1. Put c of minus 1, take for n equals to 1, for n equals to minus 1, take in place of n, take minus 1, you'll get cos minus 1 into pi, that is nothing but minus pi. Right, so cos of minus theta is nothing but cos theta, that is nothing but minus 1. So you can see c of 1 is equals to c of minus 1. That means c of 1, that means c of n is coming out to be equal with c of minus n का conjugate भी लोगे तो भी चलेगा, no problem. And most importantly, they are giving real values. Clear? So that is why you can look here the condition. It is coming out to be equal. It is coming out to be equal, and it is giving real values. That means it is real and even. Still have confusion regarding this real and even and imaginary odd? I know it, you're going to have a confusion, but that confusion can be break by this third question. Look here carefully, this confusion can be break. So here cn is given j sin n pi by 2. Now n belongs to minus 100 to 100, this value is defined. Now you take c of 1 for n equals to 1. For positive values c of 1 is nothing but j sin pi by 2, which is nothing but j. Okay, for n equals to minus 1, look here, c of minus 1 is nothing but j sin minus pi by 2, Okay, look here. I'm testing for C of minus 1 ka conjugate. C of minus 1 ka conjugate. That I need this condition, no? C of n, C of minus n ka conjugate. I need this condition to be satisfied. I need this condition to be satisfied in order to get real value. So you can see that C of minus 1 conjugate is giving you, that means if there is a conjugate symbol, if this is a conjugate symbol, that this will be going to be minus j, this will going to be minus j. Now minus j, and in place of n I replaced minus 1, so sine of minus pi by 2, it will come out to be j only. Clear this concept? Now here you can see your Cn is coming out to be equals to that of C of minus n ka star. So here look here carefully, here this condition is satisfied, that is f of t, listen to this carefully, f of t is real and odd. For f of t real and odd, it is giving you imaginary and odd. Cn is giving you imaginary and odd. In the previous case, f of t is real and even, for which Cn was giving a real and even. Clear? So that means here you can write down x of t, f of t only, no? F of t is, so f of t is real and odd, for which Cn is giving imaginary and odd value. Clear this concept? For watching this video. In the next video lecture we'll get into Fourier transform, the world of Fourier transform. Then see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye.